Hello, hello, welcome and welcome back to T is for Temidayo. Um, y'all, I just took a bath. I'm not gonna lie, I'm so sleepy. I just took a bubble bath. Today is January 18th, 2026. It is 11:41 p.m. Today is day. No way. No, today is day 49. I was like, oh my God, is it day 50? Is it? No. Today is day 49 of 365 days of tea for me. I'm telling you, y'all. Oh, all right, let's get started. Now, in full transparency, I almost skipped today. I was gonna put the tea. No, I was gonna do a video, and I wasn't even gonna do the tea because I was like, I just am so tired. I'm so tired. Um, but I just took a bubble bath. And it was helpful. Like that can't be good. What I just did, but I'm doing it. This is a fresh shirt. I haven't worn it. I just got it out of the drawer. It's clean from the laundry. But yeah, and I'm too tired to get up and do anything other than what I'm doing right now. Here we go. One pump and two pumps of testosterone. Here we go. We're gonna do the hamstrings today, so bear with me here. All right, so putting this on the hamstrings. I just took a bubble bath, like I said. It's been a while since I've taken a bubble bath, by the way, because I don't usually take baths when I live with other people. And since moving to the city, I now live with other people. And so I haven't taken a bath. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I shower. I love to shower. I am talking about taking a bubble bath. That is something that I have not done in about 3 years. So it was nice to do it. And I felt like, oh, right, this is why I used to do this like twice a month back when I was living alone because it is a wonderful feeling. It really is. All right, we're done. So let's check in. Today is the official last evening here for my first time in Chicago. Go Bears. By the way, it's really quiet and I was like, I knew if they had won, the streets would have been screaming because this is like playoffs or something. I was surprised because also like I've been in some pretty major cities with some pretty devoted fan bases, but nothing like this. I mean, the buses go Bears. The buildings go. It said bear down. I was like, huh? Everybody's dressed in regalia, and I was like, dog, I ain't never seen nothing like this before. But then I also know if I venture into the city like on game day and I'm near one of the stadiums or something, like I would see the same thing. But the fact that it's like everywhere and not just like on the people, but in fact on the city itself, I'll give that to y'all. That's hardcore. Anyway, so what are we talking about today? Okay, right. So we are going to wrap up our time here in Chicago over this video. First things first. Love to the people of Chicago. Thankful to have people like Alex and Chalana come through and make it feel all the more human. Thankful for having a lot of chats with people like Malkia and that lovely gentleman's name who I keep forgetting, who we said we was gonna do a polar plunge together. He was really cool. But yeah, I can't remember his name. And then also speaking to folks like Grace and Lena and Corey and Oakton and Kat, just like good people who are willing to come to the table, which I sincerely appreciate. grateful to this apartment, to the having some quiet time to myself, to reflect. I know that I'd been in a depressive slump, and I knew that this time would benefit me even before I got here. And then getting here, I was only confirmed, like, having some time to myself, only looking after myself, not worrying about all of my social engagements, not worrying about cleaning up after my roommates or anything like that. I'm like, it's just been my mess, my cleaning, my taking care, my leaving whatever I leave, wherever I leave it, knowing that I'm going to pick up where I left off when I come back. So that's been really, really lovely. There was a sense of simplicity also being here. Sometimes it's really helpful to just like pare down for a little while, and traveling reminds you about like what the essentials are, because you only really have so much space in your suitcase. And so it was a real blessing to be able to just like chill, to be able to just chill and be in quiet and be in stillness. I've been listening to a lot of music, I listen to a lot of music when I'm listening to it, a lot of funk, a lot of disco, a lot of, that sort of 80s pop rock. And then I've also been in periods of really prolonged silence, which has been very helpful as well. To just like let the silence be the silence and not feel the need to fill it up with something, with some noise, with some sound. It's been helping me clear my mind. I know today I sort of relapsed a little bit because I took almost like a 2 hour walk. I had some things that I wanted to take care of, and I wanted to also take a trip to the piers, the Navy Pier, and then some of the parks that are along Lake Michigan. That's right there in the Chicago Loop, and so I wanted to pay my respects to the water, and I took a walk out there, and so just said thank you, and I'll be back. So when I came home, I was pretty spent because it was really cold today. It was something like 13 degrees, and that was before the wind chill, which only dropped the temperature even more. So I was cold and I was pretty tired and I was pretty achy. So I just like sat down for about 5 hours, which felt like a really long time. Once I got up and I was like, oh, there went the afternoon and the evening. And I think at one point I thought like, oh, I guess the day is over. And then I realized like, no, there's still more day to be had. So I washed some dishes. I cleaned the tub. I did my laundry. I took a shower and then I took a bath. All in the span of like 2 hours from when I was sat down thinking to myself, oh no, the day is done. So I think it was a helpful reminder for me too, like there's always more day to be had. And whatever doesn't get done, we save for another time because there's always going to be more to do. I wanted to, see a comedy show. I wanted to go to Nando's because they don't have that in the city. Not yet, at least. I wanted to take another bubble bath or go to the hot tub more often, use the steam room, you know. And I remember two things. One, this time away is also about stillness and rest and quiet. And that is just as important as going to see the comedy show, going to the hot tub, or taking that bubble bath. Sometimes just sat with a book in the quiet of my living room is enough. And two, this only means that I have a reason to come back here to continue to enjoy the things that I said I wanted to do. So now I have a reason and a motivation and a drive, and also I know that means the city wants me back. And there's still more to do. That means the city wants me back. So I look forward to that. Hopefully in the springtime, because I hear Chicago in the spring summer is the place to be. Hopefully with a full contract for the show that we just finished. I had a couple people after the show come up to me. It was two specific groups of two folks. The first two folks were these two, I would say, youngish kids. Could not have been more than 15 years old. They were thanking me for the show. And I could tell that they wanted to talk about the gender of the character that I was playing. Insofar as asking me, so, are you just playing this character, or is this how you identify in real life? And I was like, no, this is how I identify. I was playing a transmasculine character on stage. And I was like, I am non-binary just as well. I am trans just as well. And they were like, okay, good. I could see them relieved because too many times there are people who have in the past not been in that lived experience, but decided to portray that experience. And that's a conversation for another day. But I could tell that those two folks were relieved. And they shared with me, too, that they were also, transmasc and non-binary, respectively. And then there was another set of two folks who asked me, essentially, what is it like? What is the significance of me playing this role? And I could tell that this person wanted to ask a sensitive question, ask this person a question. And so I allowed the question underneath the one that they asked to be the one that I answered. And I told them, yes, once again, this is who I am, and this is who I'm playing, and it is such a blessing to be playing someone that is like who I am, because these roles are still fairly new when it comes to the canon. They have been there the whole time. We can talk about things like Some Like It Hot. We can talk about things like Rent. These shows where it's like someone is clearly on a journey. We're just not talking about it in the way that we would in the 21st century. And so I know for myself, being able to play a character where it is written on paper in plain language, this character is trans, this character is non-binary, and to be able to play that is such a blessing. So shout out to Christina Anderson, who wrote the play, for making it explicitly clear that this is who this character was and is and will be, and inviting me to then embody this character as myself. Yeah. So thank you to Chicago. And I will be back. And we will continue to have a wonderful time. Maybe I'll be back in this same, apartment. Because this one was good. And once we get that heat, we get the oven working, and we make sure that the tub can fill up all the way, it'll be locked. But until then, I'll see Chicago another time. And back to the city I go. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. T is for Temidayo. Tune in tomorrow for another day of 365 days of tea for me. I love you so much. I love you. I love you. I love you. See you tomorrow. Bye.